Hello everyone. Today we're going to go over the AVSnap 6.6.1 version updates. The first one is a cable tool draw mode. If we select the cable tool, as you can see, the mouse pointer shows the type of cable you're going to be able to draw. So in this case, I can draw a straight cable and continue it by clicking at the end of the cable. If you press a tab button, you will get a different type of cable function. It's called two bent cable. In this case, when I start the cable and I move mouse to the right, you can see that there is a two bands in the cable. If you click and move mouse up, you will see there's a two band of the cable. Now, the new feature is that this mode will stay whether you start with the current project or you start a new project. It will stay until you restart AVSnap. The third mode is the continuous mode cable, so you can make a clear cable and then single click will continue cable as needed. And finally, the fourth mode is a single band cable, and that's going to the right and down, or if you go straight up, you will have cable like this. The second feature that was added to version 6.6.1 is to be able to move cables parallel or perpendicular to each other. So in this case, I have the two symbols, one on the left, one on the right, and I connected them with the cables. And if you can see, when I move symbol on the right, the band point not move. So if you move it on the right and you want to adjust it, you have to click on each band point. The new feature allows us to move the symbol and move the band points at the same time. So I'm going to go to the properties by pressing shortcut P, and then I'm going to set the properties under the draw, keep cables aligned horizontal and vertical. Click on that option, and now when you move symbol connected, you can see that all the cable stays connected and it's all parallel and horizontal, so it makes it much easier if you need to move symbols left, right, up and down. The next feature is the PDF file pagination. Right here on the top there is a PDF Manager button. When I press it, I already loaded the file. So this is a sample file that I loaded. If you double click on the page, you will see there's no page numbers on this page. If I would like to paginate this file, I would right click and select Paginate File. Here I can select from which page to start, prefix to the pagination, number to start from, position, center, left and right, and then if you want to clear it, you can erase it. So in this case, I'm going to start from page number 2 because page number 1 is the cover, and then I'm going to have word page followed by the actual number. If I apply this, you can see on the bottom right here there's a page number, and if I double click, every page has a page number. You can also right click, go to pagination, and you can erase the original page numbering. You can clear it and the page with numbering disappears. The next feature is the library setting per page. So one of the things that happens that you may want to have one page where you draw the diagram or schematic and another page where you draw the rack layout. So in this case, I have my diagram library open on the right hand side, and I can move the symbols back in and create my diagram of the inputs and outputs. If I go to the next page, as you can see, I can select a different library and it will automatically switch to this library. So in this case, I selected the outline library, so I can put the particular product multitasker on the page and move the components on this page and align them together. So the point of this change is to have different library opening depending on which page you're in. The next feature is ability to put different symbols on top of each other and have the top snap point to be the active snap point. In this diagram, I selected the symbols, and I have a symbol aligned to the grid, and I also may want to, at the time of the design, to replace the existing input and output with the new one just by overlaying them on top of each other. So one of the new features is when you overlay it, this becomes part of the original symbol, so if you move original symbol, it moves together. You can move the symbol on the top outside if you want. And then if you draw the cable to it, it will always connect to the top snap point. So as you can see, I can move it all together but I can also separate and move it separately. The next feature we have is to associate images with the nodes on Mindmap. Here's a mind map, and I will take the Washington picture, and I'm going to put the left top portion of the Washington picture on the node. When I let it go, I have a question whether I want to associate that image, and I say yes, and now that image is associated with the node, and if I move the node, it moves together. You can also take a picture and put a Trump node and say replace, and the image will be replaced, and now your node is of the image itself, and you can add additional nodes as needed. The next feature is auto-configuring mind map. So I put all the mind map together. There's level 1 here, and then there's a child 1, and there's a child, grandchild right here. So I'm going to press P for properties, go to mind map, and we will select auto-configured mind map. The nest levels is a default configuration, so if I apply this, you will see that each level is different colors. So this is a mind map, and then you have purple right here, and the next level is green, and the next level is light red. You can also switch to the parent branches. When you apply, you'll see that each branch is different colors: yellow, magenta, and blue. You can adjust that by clicking here. You select the branch number 3, and then you can adjust the fill color to something else, and when you apply it, the fill color will change to another color. So this is a new mode, parent branches versus nest levels. The next feature is be able to see the properties of the symbols persistently, so you don't have to constantly press shortcut B to see the properties. So I'm going to go ahead and select the symbol, press B for properties, put it on the side right here, and now if I deselect symbols, you can see that property is closed, but the form stays open. Now I can click on any of the symbols, and as I click on symbols, the properties change and you can adjust it. So this way you can put properties form on another screen if you have dual screen, and then manage all of your symbols. The next feature, to create a stackable symbols. When you have a product that has modular connections, the stackable feature allows you to put those modules and make the symbol as one symbol. So I'm going to take, this is my multitasker product. This is a regular rack with little slots in it. I'm going to put each of these modules into the base unit, and as you can see, when I leave it, those models there, I can now move. They belong now to the master. Whatever it's below, it belongs to them. You can also attach them to the bottom corners if you have it, and it also will be connected. So as long as the snap point is connected to the origin of the symbol, right here, it will belong to the main symbol. So if you just put it like this, where it doesn't connect to anything, then it's going to be all by itself. But if you attach it to the snap point, then it's going to belong to the main symbol. The next feature is the multipage view, and right here we have an icon called multipage view. You can also use alternate F as in Frank, and then in multipage view you're now allowed to move pages around. So you can select the page and then drag it and let it go, and it will move. So again, select the page, drag it, and it will move. If I double click on the page, I will go to the main page. The next feature is the improved functionality of Control A shortcut. When you use Control A, you now have ability to select different objects. If I select a rectangle and press Control A, I have a little pop-up window. If I don't do anything and just press Control A again, you can see that 4 rectangles are selected together. If I want to select only red rectangles, select red rectangle, press Control A, select by fill color, and you can see that only 2 rectangles will be selected. If you don't select anything on the page and just press Control A, all of the objects will be selected. And the same thing here. If I want to select only circles, I press Control A again, and only circles are selected. And the next feature is to be able to adjust how mouse wheel zoom function works. If you're used to rolling mouse towards yourself and getting zoom in and then rolling mouse out to zoom out, that will work fine, but if you want to change it, go to the page setup, and under page tab you will see invert mouse wheel for zoom. Apply this, and now when you move a mouse wheel towards yourself, it will zoom out, and when you scroll a mouse wheel away from yourself, it will zoom in. The next new feature is a stack objects alignment. So let's say if you have 5 objects and you want to align them to be next to each other, so I can select all 5 objects and select a function here on the left hand side called stack to the right, and you can see that they will be all stacked together. Now you can use align to center, and you can align them also together. So that works well too. And the final function is aligning left to right, up and down. Now we adjusted it so that if you align to the left, it will always align to the object, leftmost object or rightmost object, topmost object or bottommost object. So in this case I selected 4 rectangles, and if I select align left, you can see that they're all aligned. You can also now select stack down, and they will be attached together, and you can also select convert to the largest object and then stack down again, and now all of them are next to each other. And that's all the functions we have for version 6.6.1. Thank you. Take care.